Thank you all for many years of great service. Syria, General Votel, are you responsible for training the Syrian Democratic Forces?
We are providing some
help.
we are providing forces to
Gotcha.
General
I
Austin
know,
that
so
have that mission.
What percentage of the Syrian Democratic Forces are Kurds?
Probably about 80%.
Is it possible for the current construct for these forces to take Raqqa away from ISIL?
Well, of course, I don't know. I think that they are capable, as we've seen in some of the things that they have done. Without getting into,
Is there a plan to take Raqqa back from ISIL using these forces?
we have a strategy to get to Raqqa, to isolate
No,
it.
I said, is there a plan?
There is currently not a plan.
Okay. Is there a plan to hold Raqqa once we take it?
No, I would say no. There is not a plan to hold Raqqa.
Okay. General Austin, is it fair to say that when Russia and Iran came in to assist Assad, that changed the balance of power on the ground militarily in his favor?
It is, Senator. If I could make a comment on the question that General Votel just answered. As you know, Senator, as we continue to work with the forces in theater, the indigenous forces, our goal is to recruit more Arabs and Turkmen and others to be.
Will the recruitment require them to fight ISIL alone and not go after Assad?
We will recruit, train, and equip forces to focus on Daesh, on ISIL. Yes.
Yeah, and part of the conditions will be we're not going to support you when it comes to Assad.
That's correct, sir. We'll only support those elements that are fighting.
So what happens when Assad bombs the people we train? What do we do?
Well, we will defend the folks that we are supporting.
Have we defended them against the Russians and Assad, the people we've previously trained?
In terms of forces that I have trained, we've not had that issue. So.
Well, the forces that the agencies trained have been bombed by the Russians and Assad. Is that correct?
So I would not want to address that in this forum. So.
I think it's pretty common knowledge that the people we've trained have been hit by the Russians and Assad. Is it fair to say that going into any negotiations that Assad is in pretty good shape because Russia and Iran is behind him militarily and we're not behind the opposition militarily?
I certainly would say, Senator, that Russia's support and Iran's support of Assad has really emboldened him and empowered him to a degree. So.
You've been to Iraq a long time, and thank you for years of service to all of you. I sincerely mean that. And on June 24th, 2010, I had an exchange with General Odinero, and you were there too. We were changing over from General Petraeus. And here's what I said. I think you indicated we're probably on the 10-yard line when it comes to Iraq, and this is General Odinero. I did, sir, and I think we're on the 10-yard line. I think that the next 18 months will determine whether we get to the goal line or really give the Iraqis an opportunity to get to the goal line by 2011. Did you recommend a residual force?
I did, sir.
Okay. If we were on the 10-yard line in June 24th, 2010, using football analogies, where are we at today in Iraq?
Well, clearly we're in a completely different game with respect to where we were then, sir. And nobody knows this better than you because you have spent so much time over there. But
it is a different game, I think is a good way to say it.
Absolutely, sir.
Now, do you see what's the strongest ground component in Iraq? Is it the Iraqi security forces or the Shia militia? Who has the most capability right now?
The Shia militia have a lot of numbers, but in my opinion, they're not really good fighters. They don't have good tradecraft. They don't.
Is it fair to say they cannot be used to liberate Mosul?
I would say that if we go down that path, Senator Graham, we will make a significant mistake.
And I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm glad you said that. So we're really relying on the Iraqi security forces and the Peshmerga, and I think that's a long way away. Libya, General Rodriguez, thank you for your service. What percentage of Libya would you say is under the control actual or de facto control of extremist groups like ISIL?
ISIL and Daesh control the area in and around CERT. I couldn't give you exact percentage and everything, but the other places, they're either contested or have transitory effect.
Would you consider Libya at this point a failed state?
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much for your service.